Good? All right.
So, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we authorize this contract pending legal review.
This one has been reviewed by legal. It's the next one that will be the pending.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the contract as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
And do we need a motion on the other one, or?
No, we'll bring that before you next.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Thanks. Or well, at least it will be presented. We might not be.
That's right.
Go ahead and open that up. And you're the first one in, Melissa. Come on up.
Yes. Pays to knock people down in the hallway. No, I did not knock anybody down. Oh, but I will be fast.
All right, you're up.
Okay. I am just asking if we can have some special consideration when we go to Boise to split the cost of the mileage with the county and take our own vehicle.
And who's we?
Me and Lillian, we're going to our annual training in August. Next week, we're going to Boise. We'll be gone from Tuesday to Friday. And Lillian has family in Twin Falls, and I have family in Boise. And so we'd like to be able to have a little freedom to do what we want. And if we take a county vehicle, we're pretty strapped.
No, you come to us, you follow the procedures to come and talk to us ahead of time, and instead of just submitting, and everybody else that has the same type of situation, to family or vacation or something, we've allowed to do the half price.
Okay.
Motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the use of the personal vehicle as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for following the procedure.
Hey.
It
Follow the rules.
it makes it so simple.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, thanks, guys.
Looks like have Dan next.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Dan Kendall, Facilities Director, here for a monthly update. General maintenance-wise, there's no significant repairs to report, just some minor AC repairs. We completed a landscaping project over at the Juvenile Detention Center. It had some flower gardens that needed removed, but Ashley worked on that and got her done, and looks really nice, I thought.
Looks good.
Yeah. I think about a year ago, I don't know if you remember, when we had a maintenance person working in the hallway and set the fire alarm off with a grinder.
Yep.
And a lot of the people couldn't hear it. So we just completed an expansion to the system. So we're planning a drill at some point. I don't know if I'm supposed to announce that, but we're going to have a drill sometime. And while we're doing that drill, we're going to check and make sure the new ones are working.
Okay.
So I just wanted to let you know that that's been something we've been working on for probably since that alarm mishap that we had. So I'm excited to see how loud it is.
I have to admit, I just walked out of my office and looked up and down the hall. What is going on when the false alarm went off last time? Because I couldn't hear it in my office.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know they've added at least 30
Oh, wow.
horn strobes, so it should be something to see. While we do that drill, the fire department's going to be here to look at that expansion, and the alarm company wants to be here as well to make sure everything they did is working properly. So that's kind of a big deal that we've been working on for quite a while. They've had to come in on weekends and run wires all over heck and clean up their mess as they go. And so we're glad to have that done. Hopefully it works properly. The village, we got the sod and sprinklers put in just the nick of time for the ribbon cutting. Unfortunately, yesterday we had direct communications show up unannounced and was putting in the new fiber line and broke it in 4 different spots. So we're gonna.
Hasn't been in a week.
I know. Yeah. So it's pretty frustrating. We didn't even know they were coming. They're unable to get under the road. I don't know what they're hitting. But before I even knew what was happening, they had already tried 3 different spots and never made it. So they tried a 4th spot last night and didn't make it.
On
So
each
I don't
spot, they
know.
broke a line.
And they broke a line everywhere they drilled. They put holes in the parking lot, they broke the curbing, they made a mess. So we will get that put back together as quick as we can. The sprinkler guy will be there today to patch it back in and get that sod put back down, because we have we'll have a sinkhole where the water was spraying, and I'm sure it flooded several times last night down the road. So that's super frustrating. I'm trying to hold it together on that one. I couldn't believe what I saw, but
Direct Communications has a note on my desk. They wanted to talk to me before this, so that's good to know.
it's not like it's expensive repair, but it's just super frustrating where we got it done on Saturday and it's already broken on Wednesday. But we'll make sure it's right in the end, and IT is trying to reach out to get a hold of someone to make sure they're going to pay for the repair. But it was a sad day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to say something about community service. The adult probation, seems like almost everyone gets 30 hours community service when they get a DUI. And so I have a lot of people that call me wanting to work. So if a contractor gets 30 hours, they pretty much automatically will give them my number. And it's been really nice to see. It's almost like having an intern that you can reach out to. But they've been doing concrete repairs. You probably noticed on the sidewalks where we've had a ton of little potholes and breaks and cracks. But they come in at night and have been working on patching those. So it's free to us, and they're doing a good job. They're actually licensed contractors. They're doing the work, and I've had them working on foundations and sidewalks and landscaping, and I should keep track of how many hours they help us out, but it's pretty significant and
Were they
really.
involved with this landscaping project over there at juvenile detention?
Could they?
Were they?
No.
Okay.
They did, community service probably put in, with the kids, probably over 300 hours over there at the village. Originally, we tried to patch the sprinklers and use what we had, but every time we did a patch and turned it back on, it'd be broken in another spot. But community service helped me with that and clean up, and they love to break things, and they do a good job cleaning stuff up. So when we have a project, if we have demolition, that's who I call on, and they give them a pretty good length of time to get their hours in, so I can, when I need them, I call them. When I don't need them, I'd let them know, we don't have anything, but maybe, picking up pine cones or pine needles and that kind of stuff. So super helpful to me. So I just wanted to mention that I think we save a ton of money and a ton of time, and the probation officers are great to work with. So.
Well, I was wondering, with the fair going on right now, if they're, that'd be a good area to utilize the week before, the week of, and the week after.
Absolutely. They do a good job. I actually will save their number on my phone. I know which ones are good and which ones are not. So there's a good group, for the most part, really good people that work really hard and want to get their community service done. And so they've been very helpful.
We could have them run security up at the event center.
I wonder if any of them know how to fly drones.
I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it. I bet there's somebody. I've got some very talented people from all walks of life and different careers, and they get some good people. Cleaning contractor, still doing a great job. We have them over there working on the village. I'm excited for those people to have a good cleaning crew. They've really responded like, wow, we didn't know, what we're missing. Like, they're so cluttered up over there, you can't hardly get a vacuum cleaner between the spaces. And over here, now that they have some space, and they see that cleaning crew come in, and they're amazing. But we have that bid opening today, so we'll see how that goes. for the next 3 years. And then the jail boiler project, StarCorp, we probably already talked about it, but poured the floor in that boiler room. It takes a month. It's a good idea just to leave it alone for a month to cure, because the equipment they're going to be putting on it's really heavy. So we don't want to cause damage. But so we have a month to catch our breath and get stuff ordered. Ryan and Christy have been really good about getting bills paid so that they would order the equipment. So it's not going to show up overnight. There's going to be a gap where we're going to be frustrated again. Where's this stuff at? It's just your hands are tied. They're doing the orders. They're doing the research. But
At least they're ordered.
Yeah.
That's,
There's a lot of stuff to order, and it's not like stuff you're going to take off the shelf. So you might hear some frustration of why nothing's happening again, but it's stuff's being ordered. It'll come in. It just takes some time to get here, and I think Star's doing a good job, and Ryan and Christy are doing a good job of helping them where we were missing,
well, I
that
think
support.
since we got Christie involved and we went out and had the meeting out at StarCorp, that things have improved.
Yeah, I think,
Communication's a lot better than what it was.
yeah. It was just to that point on the project where it was time to bring her on in. I don't think it would have been that critical or any earlier than she came in, so. Ryan and Christy take care of that part, and then Levi does the on-site, kind of keeping track of what's going on, and he does a great job and knows what he wants it to look like when it's done. So I think between the group of us, I think it's moving in the right direction. It's just a really slow project, but I don't know that you could get it going any better since we got involved, actually. But anyways, that's what I had for you today.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. All the work that went on, the ribbon cutting went well. Everybody that walked through that building was amazed.
Yeah,
And that's, I think, Jason, you're the one who talked about the timeline, that you talked to people about how quick we got it done.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
just amazed
Yeah, a
that
few people.
that happened so quickly. And
Thank you guys for making it easy on me to move things along that quick. You let me run with it, and that's what it takes to get them done quick. So I really appreciate you guys making my job as pleasant and enjoyable as it is. So thank you guys.
go ahead and stay right there. Josh?
Good morning, Commissioners. Josh Waters, Human Resource Professional. Wanted to come meet with you today about the repairs for the Bannock County Historical Museum. It's kind of been a long process. The Historical Museum suffered damage to the roof in 2021, and this past year the roof was completely repaired, ending in January. And I saw in 2021 that they had received a bunch of bids. Elite Restoration was accepted at that time at about $30,000, I think it was. So I contacted them to just make sure that that price was okay, and they wanted to come take a look at it again. And in their process of looking at it again, they found a few more things that they thought needed done. And so the bids came out to be $54,000 if we didn't match/replace the popcorn ceiling, and about $82,000 if we did. And so when I presented that to Corden Ray, he's ICRIMP's, or one of ICRIMP's senior claims specialists, he thought both of those were pretty steep. And one day Dan came into our office, the HR office, and we were talking with him about it, and he was saying the same thing.
It's pretty steep, and so we went and took another look at it. I don't know the insurance side of it, but I think we could get her done for a lot cheaper. So start with that.
And that's having your team do it?
Yeah, I think when you go in there, it's a huge ceiling and it's popcorn spray.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty. You don't see that a lot anymore. So nobody is very equipped to patch that, and nobody wants it anymore. But their bid to take it off and redo it is, to me, not a great idea. It's a museum, it's full of displays. I really don't see why you would ever want to do that. To have to move all the displays from side to side and scrape and make a mess and then respray, and to me, it's not worth it. So as I look at it, and one of our staff used to work for a flood and restoration company, so he's worked with on the mold side and on that kind of thing. So I would go in and do a mold test and make sure it's safe. I don't think there's going to be mold in there. Instead of scraping or replacing, we just paint the minor water damage to match the existing popcorn ceiling. And then where the water damage is extensive and you would have to do a patch, let's do something creative and maybe create like a fake beam or something, just cover up that spot and don't mess with the popcorn ceiling. There is other areas of that need repaired where the water came through. It's just drywall, it's just taping and texturing, it's just painting. To me, it's pretty minor.
If we follow your plan, about what do you think the cost would be?
I think we figured less than 6.
Around 6, yeah.
Less than 6,000?
Yeah.
Does that include your time?
Nope.
So,
Takes us a week, I would say,
So
to get her done.
So when you add your time in, but you have the time, but the time would be, what, another?
Say if the whole crew was there for a week, it was another 6,000,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
up to
Okay.
12,000.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh,
I just wanted to throw an option out there. I just seemed like 50,000 and 80,000 were pretty steep.
Well, and also too, like our cost of premium for iCrimp has gone up substantially. I think we're looking at what, 650,000 this year, somewhere around there.
That's what it was, and it's going up, like by 100,000.
And also our deductible is going up from 2,500 to 5,000. So, anything we can do to cut costs on that will also affect premiums in the future as well, so.
and I appreciate that. There's a couple of things that concern me here, is why our HR department is here representing the Historical Museum. I mean, it seems like it's out of bounds to me a little bit. I mean, it's okay with the insurance and stuff, but where's the Historical Museum in their side of this? And then the other side is, and the guy that always says no for Dan, because everybody always wants Dan and think, well, it's just a week. Well, Dan doesn't have just a week. He's got a very, very busy schedule. And so I'm the one that says no for him. And then the other part, I don't want county employees in the museum moving a bunch of stuff around. I want somebody accountable for that, not county employees. So however you're going to do it, I don't want us responsible for moving all that stuff. If it's a contractor and they're the ones that are responsible, I mean, just like poking holes in our water lines over here, I don't want my employees moving a bunch of historic things. If the museum, that's why I say the museum's not here. Is the museum the one that's going to move them, or is it their people that's going to move them? That scares me.
So when we met with Lynn, she mentioned that she was going to be moving everything, and she actually was okay with moving everything back and forth for elite restoration. So Dan and his team, she would be doing the same thing.
Okay, that's what I say. I don't want our guys,
Yeah,
your
definitely,
people,
definitely.
to be responsible for moving stuff back and forth, or,
And part of the reason why I'm here is because she asked me to get it over the finish line. So I've been coordinating with like iCrimp, and we had Elite Restoration come out, and she and I, we coordinated everything with them. And if you would like, I can ask her to come speak with you guys if that's what you would like to have happen.
well, I'd like their input on the situation. Like I say, I'm not a guy that likes this is the first time I hear about, parts of things when I come into this meeting. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'd like a little more information. I'd like,
So we
what is
just
the
wanna
skill?
reschedule to bring in someone from the historical museum with these guys maybe next week, and we can finalize this?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
I mean,
Is there any,
we're missing a key player here.
there's no time restrictions we're up against, right?
No, it's not a rush.
Okay, let's just do that then.
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hal?
Commission, good morning. Welcome, or good to be with you this morning. I have before you a request, and I will give you some background about extending a conditional use permit. I don't know how many years ago, but it's been a number of years ago, Governor Little committed to the Pocatello area potential funding for a transitional housing project. And that has, for all intents and purposes, started to come fruition. It goes through the Idaho Bureau of Prisons, I believe, and they have entered into a contract with a local engineering firm who then represented a purchase agreement for a piece of property on South Fifth, just, I believe, I want to say about a quarter of a mile south of the jail. They came and we granted them a conditional use permit, and all parts and pieces are in place. However, no other contracts could move forward until they actually had a piece of property. And then they would go into contracts with this engineering firm to provide a what's referred to as a civil survey, topographic survey, etc., so that once the architects and engineers are then hired, they have base information. Conditional use permits are good for 6 months. My short-sightedness did not pay attention to the fact that one of the conditions that we can place is longer time. And so our ordinance states that a request for an additional 6 months may be granted if in writing the applicant notifies me. So they're good for a year. The problem is that not even a year meets that schedule of hiring architects, engineers, creating documents, bidding, getting ready to go to construction. I don't have the enumerated power to grant anything longer than 6 months. So I'm before you to ask if you would provide a resolution granting an additional 720 days so that when the applicant comes before me, knowing full well that they have to, we've crossed the T, dotted the I, and the council can legally grant that extension. The council cannot do that with their enumerated powers. From my research, only the commission can, because it is quote-unquote ordinance.
Okay. Hi. The circumstances here, I think that it's not the norm. So
I'm asking you to help me on my own short-sightedness. If I would have been paying attention to the applicant at the time, realizing the process and procedure, I would have put one of the conditions in staff report and said, hey, we need to have this for 2 years, 2.5 years. That's just our short-sightedness.
do you have any concerns, John?
No.
No, I'm going to make a motion to approve an extension
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the extension as requested
by resolution.
by resolution.
You have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. Charity. Wes, how are ya?
Good, good.
There. Charity Staggs, Southeast Idaho Council of Governments.
Wes Jones, Office of Emergency Management.
We are here to present a contract amendment for the Cottonwood Valley Restoration Project. There was about $49,000 left of grant money. The contractor, while he was out there, was able to do some extra work to use up the remaining of those funds. So the request, the project has been completed, Now we're just paying the bills, but we need to submit we're requesting a contract amendment to increase the cost, the payment amount from the original $150,000 to $199,770 in order to pay the contractor for that additional work, and that is all grant funds. It just uses the remaining grant funds that were set aside for groundwork.
You can't just say thanks for doing that and we'll pick another project?
Good try.
Don't know how it'd go over, huh?
Yeah, I don't know how it would go over.
No, they were mobilized, and I think there was conversation about this anyway when they was doing it. So, any concerns?
Nope.
Motion?
Yeah, let me see what it's called again here.
Okay, this is.
Okay, got it. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we approve the CVRP contract amendment as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Shanda?
Good morning, Commissioners. Shanda Crystal, Chief Procurement Officer. I have an update for the board today. I'd like to start with the first one on your dashboard there for Road and Bridge fuel. We are currently bidding it out, but in talks with Kyle Burmester, we would just like to review that process and just make sure that we are capitalizing on any efficiencies or anything like that we can do. Currently, right now, Road and Bridge handles that themselves. They have for years. We're also going to have a discussion on whether or not there would be any help in moving that to procurement, or if it would just be another step to go into. So we're just looking at that process and seeing what we might want to do with it.
You're talking about fuel purchasing.
Correct, for the county.
How much, do you happen to know how much fuel, what our spend is on fuel purchasing every year?
Oh, Kyle could answer easier, quicker. My rough guess would be 250, 300,000, somewhere.
And this is gasoline, diesel?
Correct, both.
Only?
Yes.
As far as we know.
They have a different, like any additives or oil or anything like that, they've got a
Right.
different expenditure line.
Okay.
But yeah. In my recent meetings with the city of Pocatello, right, I reviewed their process. They were kind enough to copy me on their next request for bid for fuel, and so just to see how they handle theirs. And then as I met with the city of Idaho Falls yesterday, they're going to do the same thing for me. Everybody does about the same process. There's just maybe some tweaks or just some more consistency I think I would like to change in ours.
So you've been talking with different agencies, looking at how other agencies do this, their fuel procurement.
Mm-hmm.
You probably, have you run into anyone that uses anything like caps or options or anything like that?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I am interested. I think the school district, I think, would be also another agency that would use a lot of fuel. So I'm interested in talking to them, as well as Bonneville County. I think they would be another one. So I haven't finished, but I haven't, at least those two agencies have not mentioned either of those.
Okay.
The next one is the replacement project for the fuels reduction contractor. I haven't yet labeled it Lava Ranches, but that is the direction that Charity is currently headed. She's got a meeting with them tomorrow. They're the president of the association to discuss and hopefully finalize, get a signature. They've identified some property that would be useful in between federal projects, state projects, and then previous county projects, as well as a 9 Mile project that we have coming up. It would just kind of do a continuation throughout all of those. So we feel it's really beneficial. We just need to get permission, and that meeting will happen tomorrow. If we receive permission, then it officially goes on to the state for review and approval before it comes to the board. Dan mentioned the janitorial contract was due today. The bids were due yesterday, and we'll open it here at 11, as well as the concealed weapons detection was also due yesterday, and we'll open those today as well. And then I am extremely excited to refer to both of the 2 bottom projects, the roof and the intercom system. We'll start with the roof. The manufacturer has been out for their inspection. They did find a few minor tweaks that they would like the contractor to do. And as Levi reached out to Contract West, they're hoping to get a team here next week to be able to button those up, and then we'll get our warranty, and that project will be complete. The other one on the intercom system, we have actual intercoms on our property now. They were able to meet with Levi on Monday to deliver those and talk about the logistics of it will be complicated, to say the least, to be able to switch out those intercoms at each critical piece and make sure that continuity of both sides can still communicate. But they've got a good group. They've got their IT company there as well that does the programming for them. And as they talk and each one makes a step forward, they've got a great relationship together to make this project work. But we were thrilled that we actually have equipment on site, so that can move forward now, and we're excited to hear about that one. But other than that, if you had questions or...
No, thank you on this. I did have, we bid out our paper, right? Are we still doing that?
We did once, right, a couple of years ago, and then shortly after that is when it skyrocketed, and then the company wasn't willing to hold that price. So we have not done it again. It's not something we're required to do, but we felt we could combine our purchasing power to get the county a better price on that. But then as their market kind of spun out of control, we let departments free to find the very best deal they could.
I just noticed in the commissioner's report today, there's 3 or 4 different departments had toilet paper. Not a big cost, but a couple $1,000s here, 2 or 3 different places. And I just wondered about it. Our toilet paper, paper towels, all that kind of stuff.
But so to my knowledge, only the event center and facilities buy.
The jail.
Who else? Oh,
The jail.
okay.
And it seemed like there was, like I said, three or 4 in today's TP. And it just come to my attention. Not that, I don't know if that's how often they do that and stuff, but I just...
That is something in general that I have talked to, but not the jail, but that stands to reason. About, again, combining purchasing power to making it more efficient.
Yeah.
And we've had other projects to tackle, so we haven't done that one yet. But,
I just, like I said, as I was reviewing it, just,
right?
oh, there's another one.
That is, I would definitely like to wrap in, and I'm not exactly sure about the sheriff's office, but anybody else, the event center and things like that, to me should be able to be wrapped into facilities and have some cost savings there for sure. I just don't know about the usage and stuff out of the jail.
Well, even out there, I mean, if we're ordering big cases, I mean, multiple cases.
Do you happen to remember, was it all the same company they were? I can look.
I don't know.
Right, Kim
I
sent
have
me
it
over.
still there,
Okay.
so I can look when I go downstairs.
Okay. Well, and Kim copies me on it. I just haven't had time to review it, so I can get it in there and take a check. There were things. COVID
I will say that print's getting a little small.
Yeah. I thought the same thing.
It's a good thing it was electronic, so I could enlarge it.
She just wants to test, keep you on your game, right? Make sure. I'll look into that and report back.
Okay, thank you. Anything else, John?
Nope.
With that being said, we'll be at recess till 11 o'clock when we have